Hello, fellow gamers. You are listening to GamerCast Radio on Spreaker. I'm your host, Danny Catanese. It's Tuesday. It's July 30th. This is officially my first podcast. I'm super excited. We're going to be talking about next-gen consoles today. And I know usually when there's a next-gen release, you expect those mobs, you expect that anticipation, the eBay price hikers, but that's to be expected. But this is it was a little different this year because it seems that a console already won before it even hit the shelves. I'm going to get into that. Now, if you haven't really been paying attention, Sony and Microsoft have announced their new consoles, their new next-gen consoles. It's the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Now, they did the official reveal. They did two separate ones, little like tidbit ones, okay? And then they also did the major one where they showed like all the details and everything you can do. And that was at E3. And that was about a month ago. And, well, let me just tell you. I mean, Microsoft made huge waves. I mean, negative waves. I mean, they should just be kicking themselves in the ass right now. And that's because of the whole DRM and the online check-in. And if you, like I said, if you haven't been following, I'm not going to get too much into it. But basically what it is the digital rights. And the DRM was you can't take your game and trade it in to a GameStop. You can't take your game and let your friend borrow it. You can't borrow or rent games anymore from GameFly, so that would have totally just killed that whole thing off. And then you had to check in once every 24 hours, or you couldn't play any games, like nothing. Like you couldn't play online, couldn't play offline, no single player, no Assassin's Creed. I mean, nothing. You can't do anything. So that is crazy, and they were looking at a huge decline of pre-orders, and the PlayStation 4 was killing it in pre-orders, so they changed it, and they totally reversed everything. So now they're kind of on even playing grounds. And while this was going on, Dan Matrick, who was a director over at Microsoft and was a huge part of the Xbox One reveal, went and said a really dumb statement. It's on an interview, and you can see it on YouTube. Basically saying, if you don't have internet, we have a product for you already. It's called the Xbox 360, and I think that was really arrogant, and it wasn't thought through, and it's annoying to me. I mean, I have a PlayStation 3, so I don't have an Xbox 360 anymore. I've went through 3 of them, and I'm not like to say I'm a PlayStation fanboy or nothing like that, but when you say those kind of things, I mean, you're totally excluding anybody that lives in a rural area in the middle of nowhere, or a soldier that's stationed across the sea, over in, another country and stuff. So these are all things that they didn't care about, and I think that really hurt them, and like, they had to switch everything and just totally pull a 180. So the thing is, now, mostly the services and everything and what they're offering are almost the same. I mean, the Xbox One is offering a lot more into live TV, a lot more into the voice commands with the Kinect. I'll get into that later. But as far as the services and the hardware are almost the same. I mean, both of them are going to be running with a 500 gigabyte hard drive. They're both going to use Blu-ray. You're both going to be able to stream to an online site, 2 different sites. The Xbox will stream to Twitch TV, which is awesome, and PlayStation 4 is going to stream to Ustream, which I don't know if that was a really good idea because Twitch has more of that gamer kind of feel. Both of them are going to have the camera functionalities and the Kinect and everything like that. The price difference is huge though too. It's $100 difference. Is the PlayStation 4 is going to be coming out at $399 and the Xbox One's going to be $499. So you look at the $100 difference there. That's because the Xbox One comes with your Kinect, a controller, and the system, and the PlayStation just comes with the DualShock 4 and the PlayStation 4 console. And I like that because Sony's not forcing you and not jamming that camera down your throat like you have to have a camera, take this camera, so that's awesome. If I want the camera, I can later go on and get the camera, I can add it on if I want to, Another thing is the controllers won't work. I mean, obviously, I don't know, a lot of people ask this question, but the controllers won't work for the new systems. The DualShock 3 won't work for the PlayStation 4, and your old Xbox controller won't work for your Xbox One. Although the Move controller will work for the PlayStation 4, that works for the PlayStation 3, so that's kind of cool. And the Vita. The Vita is supposed to stream the game right onto the Vita, and you'd be able to use it almost as a controller, although the developer has to enable that and has to put it into the game prior to it getting to the PlayStation 4 to have that functionality with the Vita. But I think it's kind of cool to see how they can work with that over Wi-Fi later on. Basically, they're both set to release in the holiday season. So you're looking at a release between, October all the way to the beginning of December. Now, if you go onto Amazon, which is interesting, they have a release date for the Xbox One, and it says it's on November 27th. And they also have another one for the PlayStation 4, and it says that the PlayStation 4 is going to be released on December 31st, but I think that's way off. And if I can make a prediction, I would think that the PlayStation 4 is going to come out before the Xbox One. And I think my prediction is going to come out the last week of October to mid-November and try to get right in front of the Xbox. But I mean, that's just my opinion. I think it's a smart move, and obviously the companies are thinking about moves like this and who's going to drop first because, believe it or not, there are people out there that have lots of money, and they're gonna have both systems, and they're just gonna grab the first one available and maybe wait a little bit to get the second one. So you want to have that system out there. You want to make sure that people can have enough, and that's another huge issue. Is that PlayStation 4 said they had unlimited pre-orders for GameStop over the weekend, and then they had no more. So after that weekend, you couldn't pre-order anymore. Now I'm not sure if that still stands, but I do know the last time I checked, the PlayStation 4 was just 3-1 outnumbering the pre-order sales for compared to the Xbox One. And I'm not trying to say I'm a fanboy of PlayStation. I have a PlayStation 3, but I also owned an original Xbox. I owned a 360 from launch. I owned 3 360s, but they all broke. So I went over and went to Sony because I had a PS2 and never broke, and I never had any problems with my PS3. I never had a yellow light of death or nothing like that, so I'm happy with that, But we might see a spike in Xbox One pre-orders. We don't know. No one can tell. But as of right now, PS4 is clearly winning. And, I just really hope that Microsoft learned their lesson that, you can't try to just screw over people like that. You have your gold, plus these people have to pay internet. You're limiting them. You shouldn't have to do that. But, that's a lesson learned for Microsoft. Both systems are going to be able to record the last few moments of your gameplay, which is really, really awesome. I think it's a really cool feature that both of these systems have. The Xbox will record your last 5 minutes. So if you're done playing Call of Duty or something, you can stop. You can go see your last 5 minutes. But it always keeps relapping your footage. So you have to make sure if you want that last 5 minutes, you have to save it. You have to stop what you're doing, pause the game, and then probably save it. And that's and I think that's only for offline. Because if you're online in an Xbox One, you can only record for 30 seconds, I believe, what I've read and what I've gathered. It's also done by voice, so you would say Xbox record that. And the last 30 seconds will be automatically captured and then put in a file saved for you. And I think that's for online. I'm not sure if you can record the 5 minutes automatically all the time or if that's just 30 seconds. But I do know for a fact you can record your last 5 minutes of play with the Xbox One. And you can also say record that and it'll record the last 30 seconds. And I'm not sure if that's going to carry over to online, if that 30 seconds is just for online. The PlayStation 4, on the other hand, will record the last 15 minutes. And that's a little easier to get to. I mean, if you want to say, hey, Xbox, record that, I guess that's easy. But it's going to have a button. You just press the button, and the last 15 minutes are there. It's going to be captured. You can save it, edit it, and then you can basically post that to either your PSN profile right on there so all your friends can see it, or you could put it onto a Facebook or anything like that. So, which is really cool. And if you have the Kinect, you go straight to Twitch TV, which is awesome, and it streams live, which is going to be really, really cool for everybody that goes to YouTube and does those kind of commentary videos and those funny videos of them playing video games. That's really going to help and go straight to Twitch, and that streams. That's awesome. And like I said before, PlayStation 2 Ustream, which I don't agree with, but that's okay. So yeah, the streaming is basically the same. Just that PlayStation has a little bit longer. It has 10 minutes longer of the footage that it keeps for you to edit at a later time and stuff like that. Another big thing is that the PlayStation 4 is going to require PlayStation Plus to play multiplayer games. So, again, Call of Duty online, you have to have PlayStation Plus. Battlefield, you have to have PlayStation Plus to play online. But you don't have to have PlayStation Plus to have cross-game chats and chat with your friends. You don't have to have PlayStation Plus. That's free. You don't have to have PlayStation Plus to have Netflix and stuff like that. So that's really cool, too. And any free-to-play game. You can just play. You don't have to have PlayStation Plus, like PlanetSide 2, which I'm really looking forward to. That's dropping for PlayStation 4. That's going to be free to play, and you don't have to have PlayStation Plus to have that. Although, I mean, I like PlayStation Plus, and I'm actually a huge fan of it because you get free games, and that's awesome. And that's something like Microsoft never did. As long as I owned an Xbox, they never gave away free games. Like, they just started giving away free games, like, right now. And, like, they gave away Halo 3. Like, who the fuck hasn't played Halo 3 and Assassin's Creed 2? Like, the old games. Like, PlayStation 4 is giving you, like, newer games, too. Like, I just got on XCOM and Deus Ex, the new Street Fighter. There's a bunch of games I got, like, on there. It's really, really cool. And if you have PlayStation Plus on your PS3, it carries over to your PS4, which is really, really awesome, too. And I think that's a really, really cool idea. Another great thing that they announced at the reveal is that if you have the PlayStation Plus, with PlayStation 4, you're going to get Drive Club for free, which is a new game that's a racing game that's coming out for PlayStation 4, which is really awesome. Also, PlayStation 4 is going to have the first entry into the open beta for Elder Scrolls Online, which I'm huge, and I'm going to be doing some Elder Scrolls Online podcasts in the future and try to cover anything that's brand new or just drops for the game, and any new features or anything like that, because I love this game and I love the whole test series and everything. I've actually been following the Shoddy Cast, which they do a great job over there. So yeah, basically, when you buy the systems, they're going to come with the package where it's the DualShock 4 and the console. So it's just all you get is the controller, the console, no camera, and that is the $399 price. And for the Xbox One, you're going to have your Kinect, you're going to have your controller, and your Xbox One console, and that's $499. They have announced that they are going to do different Xbox One packages for next summer. For summer 2014, they're going to have a $350 priced one with a smaller hard drive with no Kinect. And they're going to have one, I believe, for $399 with the same 500 gigabyte hard drive, just no Kinect. So that's something to look forward to if you don't want to get one at launch or you just don't want the Kinect to be forced on you. That's an option. So, yeah. As far as the Xbox One, I'm assuming it's going to go around the same lines as the whole gold package for 360. Obviously, I mean, I had a 360, so I know how that all goes. And I'm sure it's going to get like your Netflix and your games for online and everything like that. Although it's been said that you won't have to have gold to talk to people. Like now, if you have a 360, you can text to people, but you can't actually have like a chat or talk to them. You have to have gold to do that. But I believe, and I've heard that on Xbox One, you won't need to have gold, that you can just talk to people. There'll just be the open kind of chat option, which is awesome too. And I also saw some footage of Forza 5, and it was like, I mean, amazing. I mean, I love the Forza series, and I kind of miss it now that I have the PS3. I mean, I have Gran Turismo, but I mean, there's something about just putting what you want on your car, and just making it look the way you want, and just messing with the paint. And Gran Turismo is very limited. You can just only change the paints, and it'll give you so many paints. And like, when you use a paint, you can't go back and use it again because it deletes it, and it's weird. I don't know, but they're Japanese or whatever, so I'm not gonna argue with them. But yeah, that's basically a rundown of the two consoles. I mean, what you get with the two consoles. My prediction for the release date, like I said, it's gonna be this holiday. Xbox says November 27th. Who knows? I mean, I do think still that big Black Friday is going to be a huge part of that, and I don't think they want to put it before or after. They want to do. You got to do it just right. So, who knows? I mean, I think that the Xbox might drop before Black Friday, so I definitely think that's going to happen. So we're looking at maybe a mid-November launch for both consoles. So get excited because they're coming, and you just have to be patient, and just be patient and be smart about the choice you make and just that what you want. And just remember, like a lot of people won't go back and get an Xbox One just purely for the fact that Microsoft made a very strong statement, said, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is the future. We're the future. We're Microsoft, and we're not going to change anything. And this is what it's very hard to change, and we can't do it. And we're going to stick with it. And DRM's the future. And then when they saw their numbers declining and there was really nobody buying it, they just like, oh, well, we're going to change it. So that's just like, to me, like kicking a dog and then trying to give it a treat. I mean, that you kick the dog in the face, the dog should bite you, But that, that's my opinion. There are loyal people out there that are these loyal, diehard fans that are Halo boys, and they want, they're Xbox and, nothing's better than their Xbox, and then I get that, and I've played a lot of online, and I